right, we've got an old junker here. This guy has seen better days, and he is an antique. This is a Barclay car from the 30s. It's my research is the best it can tell me. They're fairly rare. You don't see these very often, and in mint condition, they're worth quite a lot. Of course, this is not in mint condition. This is in terrible condition. Obviously, the paint's almost completely gone, missing all the wheels, and we're totally broken down here. What a mess. So anyway, this is going to be a fun restoration. It shouldn't be as hard as it looks. We do have some problems. There's a crack back here. Let me zoom in some. Got a crack back there that's going to have to be fixed. It's caved in right there. Pretty major defect there. And then the biggest part's going to be the interior here. Lots of problems. But like I said, it's not going to be as bad as it looks. I've got some reproduction wheels. So those will be going on there. They'll look great. And I already know how I'm going to make the new axles. I'm going to basically remake the way that they did them originally. I really liked the way that they originally did, and I'll show you in a bit. Like I said, the hardest part's going to be there in these areas, but first we need to get this paint off. So I'm going to dunk him in the stripper tank. Now you can be absolutely sure that that is lead-based paint, so just keep that in mind whenever you're working on cars this old. Well, there's the paint that's been stripped off. It's still a little bit in a few places that you can see, but I don't think that's going to matter in the end result. Used a wire brush to get the stuff that I couldn't and to get the corrosion off, so it looks a lot better. However, just using the wire brush damaged that some. So this is a lot more delicate than I was anticipating. This is a restoration, so I'm not going to clean up these casting lines. One of the charms of these old cars is how poorly they were casted. I mean, it kind of shows the technology of the day. So I'm going to keep that there because I actually kind of like it. I think it looks cool. But I am going to fix down here. That is my first job. And you may be thinking, how is that even possible? Well, there's a couple ways. But what I'm going to use is this product here. It's a JB Weld steel stick. I have used this in industrial applications to fix small appliances and things like that. Never used it here, but I see no reason why it won't work. Basically, it is it's like an epoxy putty. 2 parts. You mix it together and you have a fairly good working time, but not real long. So I'm going to work this back and forth. Once it is dried, it is workable, so I'll be able to drill it. I've even tapped it before. It's pretty good stuff. It's not a cure-all. It doesn't fix everything, but when it works really well. Well, I just read the instructions, and you're not supposed to touch this with your skin. Oops. So I'm going to go put some gloves on. Just wanted to warn you that I did that wrong. Okay, so this works very much like clay. I'll stick that in there, kind of form it like I want. Stick this one into this side. Make sure it's in there nice and tight so it won't fall out. Remember, this is going to be covered up with both paint and the wheel, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So I think I'm going to let that dry, and then we can drill, the holes for the axles, and that really should be the entire repair. If that works, it's going to be crazy easy. See? Not hard at all. I told you. But while that's drying, let's try and get this guy fixed too. I don't think I'm going to be able to do the crack on the back and that one at the same time. And for this, I'm going to use another JB Weld product. That's the normal old 2-part epoxy JB Weld. This is great stuff. Super strong. Sands well. It's just good stuff overall. Just mix 2 parts of it. Now I could use the Tamiya putty that I've used in the past, but it's not nearly as strong, and since this seems to be, you know, really weak right here, I'm afraid that the Tamiya putty would not hold. But one of the nice things about this JB Weld is that it's self-leveling. So basically, I'm going to put a dab in here. So now it's just a matter of waiting, and it'll take a good 12 to 24 hours for this to get like I want it to. I wish I could do this back one, but because it's self-leveling, if I turn it like that to get that back crack, then this will start to pour out. So we have to do them in 2 different sessions. But anyway, we'll see how this dries up. All right, this is all dried really nice, or cured, I guess. It really doesn't dry. And inside here, this has worked really well. That's like super hard. So what I need to do now is to sand this down flush. This is going to take quite a bit of time. So I'm going to do this off camera because, you know, we could be here an hour. No one wants to watch someone sand for an hour. Pretty good. In fact, I think that's really good. There might be a little bit of an issue down here, but it feels fine to me and it looks fine. So we'll see when we get the primer on if I need to make any adjustments. One thing I did notice, though, is in this wheel well, see if we can focus correctly. I don't know if you can tell, but that's a lot more shallow than this. So I need to carve this out a little bit. And to do that, I'm going to use a Dremel tool with a little bit of a grinding burr, and I'm just going to take off some of this area. A whole lot better. I don't know if it's perfect, but it's definitely going to be good enough for our purposes. Okay, so next I'm going to fix this crack in the back, and for this, since this is not a structural issue, I am going to use the Tamiya putty because that'll dry within minutes and I'll be able to get that done right now instead of having to wait another day. Then we'll create the holes for the axles here, and we'll be well on our way to being done with this. So cool, this is a fun little project. It's going to look awesome when we're done. This Tamiya, or Tamiya, I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways. Whatever it is, this is pretty awesome stuff. If you haven't used it, I highly recommend it. The best part about it is how fast it dries. You can be working on this and sanding it in just a few minutes. It's pretty incredible. Getting all that excess off will make the sanding a whole lot easier later. In fact, we won't have to do much sanding at all there. But it's almost completely dried now. While that's drying, I'm going to put the holes for the axles. Now the idea of using a power drill in this makes me very anxious, so I'm just going to do this by hand. It'll take a little bit longer, but not really a whole lot longer. So I just want to use very light pressure and go slowly. So I will show you when I'm done, because this will take a few minutes. Okay, I've got those axle hole drilled, and this is delicate. This is not going to be a car that's going to be played with by a toddler. It just wouldn't hold up for that. But it's going to look great on a shelf, and that's the purpose here. You know, I like to make a lot of my restorations so that a kid could play with them. You know, it's tough enough for that. But some of these really old things, like this is, you know, getting close to 100 years old. I'm not really that concerned. You know, this is going to be definitely a display piece. Okay, so I really can't put the axles on yet because I want to paint it, and it would be silly to put the axles and the wheels on just to have to mask those to paint it later. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this guy. It was originally a blue, it looks like, from the paint that was left over, and I doubt I'll be able to get the exact same color blue, but we'll come, we probably won't even come close. We're just going to make it blue. Wowzers, wowzers, wowzers. Holy smokazoid. That looks nice. Oh, I hope that shows through on the camera as well as it does in real life. It's actually a lot darker in real life when the camera's showing it. Let me see if I can adjust the settings. That is more realistic to what it looks like to me. Really dark, really nice. I'll change that back so you can see everything better. So now for the axles and wheels. And this is actually going to be pretty easy. I haven't actually taken apart one of these old Barclays, but I have taken apart plenty of toys that were from that era, and almost all of them used a axle tube with a nail or a brad. Now I don't have them that are the right size, so I'm going to have to cut the length down of this brad. But using wheels, and I got some reproduction wheels. These are real rubber wheels. They were kind of expensive. Go in like that, and in the tube fits just perfectly, and there we go. So that's how that is going to work. So I got to cut this tube down, and I got to cut these nails down, but that's going to be about it. We'll put these wheels on, and then this project will be done. And here we have it. Oh, that looks so good. It looks so nice. Beautiful. The wheels roll. It's not going to roll like a Hot Wheels. This wasn't designed, never was designed to roll like that. But it looks nice. Amazing transformation. If you remember, this was the before, and now the after. And I hope you enjoyed this old-fashioned restoration. I know I really enjoyed it. I love these old ones. They're so relaxing and so much more simple than the Hot Wheels. You know, the Hot Wheels and the Matchbox, they've got their place. I love them too. But these old Tootsie Toys, and now I've done this Barclay. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. If you're only interested in this restoration, then you can stop the video because we're done with that. Just want to talk to you a minute about the channel. I've experienced some amazing growth recently. I think I'm at 144 subscribers, which is huge. I appreciate all of my subscribers. I generally appreciate all of them. I appreciate the positive comments I've been getting. It's almost 100% positive. There's always going to be some negative on YouTube, but great positive comments really encourage me. My life has been kind of crazy lately, and I'm finding it kind of stressful to try and get these 2 videos out a week. And since this isn't this is just a hobby for me. No intentions of ever becoming a full-time YouTuber. I know that's not possible in this genre, really. And the quality that I do it's just not going to happen. So I just do this for fun, and I do enjoy it. So I think I'm going to have to cut back to 1 video a week with the occasional 2 as a bonus, just to keep my sanity for right now. And as things get better in the other parts of my life, then I'll be able to increase that back up to 2 videos a week. So just to keep myself from burning out, this is my 3rd YouTube channel. Actually, my 4th YouTube channel now that I think about it. I did one a long time ago. And this is how it always works out for me, is I end up getting burnout and stopping, and I don't want that to happen here. So I'm just going to slow down a little bit so I don't burn out. So I appreciate you understanding, and I hope to see you in my next video. So, bye.